Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Collision. We had a pretty good episode of Collision tonight. We started off with our champion, Toni Storm, who did a promo in the middle of the ring while the lights are off and just have one little spotlight on her. She goes to say how she was embarrassed and ashamed about what happened with her getting pinned by Megan Bayne on Dynamite, and she went home and she stayed in bed and she was tossing and turning and thinking about what happened over and over again. Then she gets up, go use the bathroom, she busts her ass, fell, stubbed her toe and all this shit, and she woke up and realized that she is timeless and that at Dynasty she gonna get her hands on Megan Bayne, take her tits off and put it in her purse, and before she can say anything else, this part, it was so good. The way it was done was so good because Toni Storm was like literally like right in front of the camera, and then here comes a shoe that just kicked her straight in the face, and is Penelope. Penelope gets in front of the camera, she's smiling, and I was like, holy shit, the imagery of that looked beautiful. She ends up fighting with Toni Storm for a little bit before Toni Storm take care of that. And that was all to distract Toni Storm because obviously here is Megan Bayne who comes in, attacks Toni Storm. I love the way the show opened, and I think overall for this show we felt a little bit more women oriented. So I'll get into that in a moment. But this was a really great way to open the show, and it's feeling like a really big deal when it comes to the women's title at Dynasty. Now, after this, Claudio, Marina, and Jon Moxley, they are somewhere back there. I don't know where they at. And Claudio's just like, you know what, Marina gonna take care of y'all. Gonna take care of Willow. Moxley is gonna get his hands on Swerve. This is gonna be at the tag team match that they're gonna have, the Tornado tag team match that they're gonna be having on Wednesday. And then he says, well, I'm gonna get my hands on you, Adam Copeland. And he goes, lately you've been on edge, and he said lately you've been on edge and having a hard time coping with it, whatever the fuck he said. I was fucking dead when he said that. I was just like, I love to play on words. I know it's cheesy, but I love that type of cheesy shit. And we're going to be able to see Claudio Castagnoli versus Adam Copeland. Have we ever seen these two in the ring before? Maybe in WWE. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember it. But it's great to see what these two can offer together in the ring. Now after this, we do have Switchblade Jay White and them abs. Lord have mercy, I love it. Going against Kevin Knight, who's also a beautiful man as well. They had their match. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Kevin Knight had a match the other day with AR Fox, and that was just fucking out of the park, even though it did end in a draw. But he had a really great matchup here with Jay White, and Jay White ends up taking a win. This is after how Jay White has been talking about how he's going to be joining the Owen, and that, you know, this is going to be his year. He's going to go for a championship. Now, he goes on to say all that again after his match in a little promo, and how he's going to win the Owen Hart Cup and go for the world title at All In. This is after he ends up, you know, putting over Kevin Knight about how he's a great wrestler and the whole crowd is cheering for him and all that stuff. And after the show, maybe during the show, Tony Khan had tweeted how Kevin Knight is all in. Now look, I'm cool with Kevin Knight. I love Kevin, but the thing is that y'all keep trying to sign people to come in through the doors, and it's just like, when are we going to focus on the people who are there? Jay White has been there for like a year and a half and still no world title. This is crazy. So congrats to Kevin Knight, but I think we're going to have to really focus on the people who's been there for quite some time and not much to show for it. So after this, to show a tweet from Athena from earlier during the day, where she took a picture standing outside of Mercedes Moné dressing room, and she said that she was in attendance at Collision today. We'll talk about that in a moment. But here is Mercedes Moné in her match. She's in action, so you know this is going to be a squash. She went against Robin Renegade. And it wasn't a complete squash, but we knew where this was going. She ended up taking the win, and it didn't take too long for her to take the win via submission. Now, before she can really celebrate this win, we have our girl. Finally, we have Athena, who is on the show. I'm not saying via satellite. I'm not saying in our dreams. I'm saying she's literally there on the show. She looked great. And she got into the ring and even got into it with Mercedes and Robin. You know, you were the wrong place, wrong time type of situation, so you got dealt with as well. Now, I'm so excited to see what's going to end up happening here, because this is what we wanted. We've been wanting Athena to be in the main roster for quite some time, and we're finally getting what we want. Not just for her to be there, but also for her to go against CEO, possibly at All In. Tony Khan, take my money. Wait a minute. I already bought tickets to All In. So now, with surprising developments, Queen Aminata, who's supposed to be going against Jamie Hayter later on in the night, has been injured, and she looks so cute when she's so sad. She's so pretty. She looks like she hurt her wrist, and while she's talking about her being injured, they said that Billy Starks is going to be replacing her in that match, and that match will also be the main event of Collision, which I was just like, wait a minute, Billy Starks in the main event? Lord have mercy. What has this world come to? Now, while she's talking, Queen Aminata, here is Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb's like, hey, you know, if you were listening to me and taking advice from me, then you wouldn't be hurt right now. While your ass is at home recovering for your little injury, here's my little clipboard. Whatever little book she has, a folder with paper that's supposed to teach you how to wrestle or some shit. I don't know. She ended up giving it to Queen Aminata before she ended up leaving. Queen Aminata, we have better things to read. Now after this, we do have tag team action. Big Bill teaming up with Brian Keith, wearing not this Learning Tree bullshit thing that they've been wearing. They're wearing what they typically wear. Big Bill with the jeans and the Timbs, which I love so much. And then you have Brian Keith, who has on his high-waisted pants that he always do and all that stuff as a bounty hunter. This is what I prefer. I prefer to see them do that, even though they came out to the Learning Tree song. They went against Top Light. Really great tag team matchup here. And for me, I'm just like, this is really to set up Learning Tree group to go against Hurt Syndicate. So I didn't think that Top Flight was going to end up taking the win, which they don't, but they look great here. And this is one of those situations where I'm just like, stop signing new people, because the people that have been here for so long have nothing to show for it. As great as a team as Top Flight is, they're always just in the middle. They're just always in the middle, and they're never really moving up to do anything, unfortunately. Now, after this, though, we do have Crew, which is Action Andretti and Leah Rush. They're coming for a sneak attack onto a Top Flight. However, AR Fox, I don't know where he came from, but thank the Lord, AR Fox just came and stood right in between that whole thing, and he looked good. And I'm just like, oh my God, a whole bunch of chocolate men looking just so yummy. Sign me up to be sandwiched in between everybody. I would like that. After this, Jamie Hayter, who is excited to go against Billy Starks. She said how she respects her, but don't expect me to show you any mercy in that ring, because I am going to be entering the Owen Hart Cup. I was like, oh, okay, another person on the Owen Hart Cup. It seems like everybody and their mama has already said they were going to be in it. So we'll see what happens with that. After this, Adam Cole in there with the rest of the group, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick, doing a promo with Daddy Magic and Danny Garcia. Daddy Magic was wearing a brown jacket, and Daddy Magic was just as brown as a motherfucking jacket. I don't know what tanning salon y'all going to, or if y'all got friends tanning y'all up or whatever. It looks horrible on television. All y'all look horrible on television. Long story short, it's going to be a rematch between Adam and Danny Garcia for the TNT title. No one can interfere, and it's going to be no time limit or whatever. I didn't like the match that they had. I didn't already like the match that they already had, so for me, this doesn't really make me feel better about it. I'm bored with whatever they're doing with Danny Garcia, and I don't think I would even enjoy Adam Cole to be champion right now either. There's something about Adam that is just not there. It's not interesting for me. And I don't know what we have to do to get to that point, but for him to have the TNT title, personally, I don't care to see it. Now after this, we also hear from Athena. She's back there with Billy Starks, and she's just like, all right, Billy, you're going to be doing something later on tonight with Jamie Hayter. You're going to disappoint me as usual. But she's letting everyone know that she's also going to be entering the Owen Hart Cup. So is Billy Starks. So Billy Starks does look a little worried about that. But since there's going to be brackets that's going to be announced on Wednesday, they may be on opposite sides of the bracket, so they maybe never even have to face each other unless the both of them makes it to the end. And if that's the case, I won't see it. After this, Wheeler Yuta whoops Dex Harwood ass, and rightfully so. Dax is coming off a little more heelish in this match, so more typical than usual. We've been seeing a little bit of change of character with Dax as of late, and you're seeing that in the ring. And he is feeling really salty after taking an L in this match. Wheeler Yuta after he beats Dax. This is so funny. Claudio was already in the ring. Not in the ring. He was already in the crowd. I guess he was coming to come get him, or just making sure that Dax or nobody else come on out there and beat up on Wheeler Yuta, because you know what we do here. Death Riders are always on point, and you know we're ready for anything. So Claudio's already standing there. Wheeler Yuta goes out there and he sees Claudio. Claudio is just looking at him like, you won, but like, am I supposed to be happy for you or some shit? And Wheeler Yuta goes to him to go hug him, and Claudio barely gives him even a church hug. And I was just like, damn, do they really hate Wheeler Yuta like this? Like, this is absolutely insane. Now Dax, he's being bitter as fuck about it, and even gets physical with the referee. They bring the useless security guards out there to keep Dax away from hurting the referee, and he's hurting on them too. Now, while he's hurting on the security guards, here comes Cash Wheeler, who comes out there, and Dax doesn't look, but he ends up throwing Cash Wheeler, not even realizing what he has done, and he ends up walking away. Lovely. Now, after this, we do see Nick Wayne back there with Kip Sabian and Mama Wayne, who's always looking on point. And here's crew. Leo Rush and them is like, oh, you know, you should take care of A.R. Fox. What's going on with your boy A.R. Fox? And he's like, that's not my boy anymore. Matter of fact, I had a match with him not too long ago where we pretty much just were done. Like, whatever went on with us is done. And he's like, well, you're the only one who knows A.R. Fox the way that we would like for someone to know him. And if we ever need someone to take care of Top Flight and A.R. Fox, then you should think about joining us. I was like, what the fuck is that? Let me just say, if you really think about it, maybe it makes sense. But it's like, well, what does Nick Wayne have to do with y'all? He's part of already a trio, and now y'all want him to just fight y'all battles with A.R. Fox or whatever's going on with that? Find somebody else who's not getting TV time to join that group, because I don't really see why Nick Wayne has to join this. Now, after this, I didn't even know this was even on the card. Hologram goes against Blake Christian. Blake got the jobber's entrance. Didn't even let his music play or nothing. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? Y'all already know. Hologram, I think today was his 22nd win, and he's only had 22 matches within AEW, so he's undefeated at this point. So whenever I see Hologram, I am definitely like not feeling good about it, because he's going to win. And I think he's great. I really do think he's great. However, there's not much going on. Hologram did have like some kind of bracelet on his arm, and he gave it to one of the kids in the audience. And I was like, okay, that's something new that he's doing. I do feel like the Hologram character is supposed to be geared towards the children and the people who needs a role model in their lives. But I still have not yet seen anything when it comes to Hologram yet. Like, nothing really, other than his in-ring ability, which is great. But what else do what else do I need to ask for so I can be able to connect with Hologram? And I feel like there's not much going on. Tomorrow, there's a Hey EW interview with Hologram and RJ City. I love Hey EW. It's a really funny show if you never watched it. But Hologram is supposed to be interviewed. Hologram is not going to say a damn word. He's not going to say anything. Even Beast Mortos was talking on his damn episode. Well, he was growling. But that's still communication. I don't think we're going to get a word out of Hologram. But I could be wrong. After this, we get confirmation that Statlander and Thunder Rosa will also be in the Owen Hart Cup. And it just seems like the Owen Hart Cup is looking full at this point, at least for the ladies. Main event, Jamie Hayter goes against Billy Starks. We have about like 10 minutes left, and to be honest, I didn't want more than that. Now, while I'm all about empowering women and all that stuff, I'm also about putting people in the right place when they deserve it. Billie Starkz, I feel like she's worked hard, but still not where she should be. She just turned 20 recently, and she has experience, but I don't think she's at the point where she should be doing main events with someone like Jamie Hayter, former AEW champion. And she's not that great, to be honest with you, but she has improved. However, the match was okay. Jamie, we haven't seen her in quite some time in AEW, and I've been a little disappointed with that because she's wrestled, at least in the UK that I know of, throughout this time that we haven't seen her. So I don't know what's been going on, but it was nice to see her, even though this is not her best. And she ends up taking the win with a haterade, a beautiful haterade, and that's the way it should have been. However, after this, though, we get Athena, who comes out again, and she's mouthing off to Jamie Hayter. We don't really hear too well what they're saying because they don't have microphones, but both of these ladies will be on the Owen Hart Cup, and it's going to seem like, okay, maybe these two will end up going with each other, depending on their placement on the bracket. Now, at Dynamite, we will find out in terms of who's going to be going against who, at least, or who are going to be on what side of the brackets for both the men and the women. And the women's is looking really, really promising from the people that we know that are in it so far. For the men's, we don't know too much on who's in that. I know Jay White's been saying he wants to be in it. Hangman, MJF, I believe as well. And those are the only ones I could think of at this point. So they're looking really promising this year for the Owen Hart Cup. I don't know when it's going to start, but at least on Wednesday, we'll be able to get all those information about the Owen Hart Cup. This episode, not bad. I'm glad to see a lot more of the ladies on this show tonight. And we did get one women's match, but no, we got two. We got two women's matches, and things seem to be a little spread out in terms of how we saw the women on the show, and I would love to see a little bit more than that. And Athena finally is on the main roster, and I can't wait to see what they'll do with her. Fingers crossed for Mercedes versus Athena at All In. We're ready. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back on Wednesday for Dynamite. And yes, I will be live for Dynasty. If you can't watch me live for AEW Dynasty, you can also check out my review after the show. I'll see you guys then.